swirl around us, cast away our care. Friends in the hallways, adventures we find, spells and enchantments, trouble on our mind. That's so wizards, oh, 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 oh. Life is a spell we know. We're casting joy and glow, oh, oh. That's a wizard show.
It's that time again. I know it's Tuesday, not Wednesday, but I couldn't not talk about this. It's just too juicy. It's just too good. Thanks to Dracoya and the Pickled Dragon for finding this story, and thanks to Jeff Gamesbox for directing me to Dracoya and the Pickled Dragon talking about the story. Please give both of them shout outs and subscribes. Jeff Gamesbox deserves 1,000 subs. Dracoya and the Pickled Dragon are two great and amazing people who always bring us the best stories and the best comedy. And we have this. Wizards of the Coast announced the next 5 books that they're going to be having to finish up 2025 and go into 2026. And I assure you, none of us saw these coming, not even me. So congratulations, Wizards. You pulled one over on me. Even I did not predict these. So, yeah. So this article comes from Game Rant, was published on the August 7th of all things, but we only discovered it today because I guess Game Rant kind of hit it. Because it is Game Rant, take anything I say with a grain of salt as to how reliable this is, especially when dealing with Wizards, because we know Wizards lies. But we know that they have announced the 5 new products, including 2 different journals, a new entry in the Young Adventurer series, and Dungeons and Dragons Crochet, the Book of Many Patterns, which I'm sure comes to us from the genius of Macanzi DMs. So, yeah, Dragons of the Realms, which is done horribly. We've got, in addition to everything we knew that were coming out this year, the Forgotten Realms doubleheader. We've got the Artifactor book. We've got the starter set. Return to Keep on the Borderlands starter set. But on November 4th, we're getting a Warriors and Wizards companion, a Young Adventurer's Guide for the Young Adventurer series. Mind you, that book already was written, but I guess they're rewriting it. Dragons of the Realm, and the official Dungeons and Dragons coloring book on November 18th. The Dungeons Masters Campaign Journal on November 18th. The Players Campaign Journal, November 18th. And possibly the one everybody's the most excited for, Dungeons and Dragons Crochet, the Book of Many Patterns, no doubt brought to us by the genius that is Macanzi DMs. So what do we say about these? Well, we have the Players Campaign Journal and the Dungeon Masters Campaign Journal featuring Venger, and the Players one featuring a Roper. For reasons? Now, Venger makes sense, I guess. I mean, you know, if you can't use Vecna or any of the other iconic D&D characters, use Vecna. I mean, Venger, because most people recognize him, right? And, you know, evil DM, evil lich, Venger, cartoon's worst dad, the Dungeon Master. But nothing says player character like Tentacle Monster. So what can we expect in these 2 journals, and how much are they going to cost us? Now, right, journal features tables, blank pages, some notes for the different ones that they're directed on, but basically it's a journal, which means it's blank pages. Then we have the Dungeons and Dragons Crochet coming out because, yeah. And then we have, in addition to the Young Adventurer's Guide. Who remembers the Young Adventurer's Guide for 2014 D&D? Series started about 2-3 years ago. I thought it was done, but I guess they're adding a new one, even though they already covered Wizards and Warriors in this book. Now, that begs the question, is the Young Adventurer series separate from 5e to normal 5e, or is it part of 5e? Could I take the stuff out of these books and use them in normal 5e, or are they specifically to the Young Adventurers 5e? I don't know, because I haven't followed it. But do we have some prices? No, we don't. But we know that the last journal they released, which was like 120 pages, was like $30. The Artifactor's Guide. So yeah, we can, you can crochet a gelatinous cube. You can crochet the Hand of Vecna. You can crochet a mimic. You can crochet a beholder. That's some amazing crocheting skills you're expecting from us. I mean, this is prize-winning level crocheting, but okay. Sure, Mackenzie, you can have your book of crochet, and that won't be available till March of 2026. So at least we can look forward to that. Don't have any prices, but I'm gonna make some guesses, knowing Wizards of the Coast ridiculous prices. Okay, for 2 basically blank journals, right? So you guys, you've heard me say this thousands and thousands of times, and it's definitely going to be one of the things on my island of things I will not back down on. You can get a journal at any dollar store. Peachy folders, school binders, 3-ring, 5-ring, 100-page, 200-page, 1,000-page, hardback, softback. If you need a journal for gaming, you can literally find one that will fit your needs for around anywhere from $1 to $5. Some of the upper scale ones, like the 3-ring legal pads, which are difficult to find, those might cost you $15, but they're worth it. But yeah, there's no universe where you should be spending any more than $10 on a journal for the game. So I'm predicting these are going to cost about $30. The Wizard's Warrior Companion. Well, I can just look that up to see how much the others have cost on Amazon. And we will do that right now. Amazon does whatever an Amazon does. Sells you stuff on the web. Young Adventurer's Guide. All right. So it'll probably be under Young Adventurer's Guide. So let's look this up. All right. Young Adventurers D&D. So it looks like they run about $10 each for this one. You can get the entire set for $20, marked down from marked down from the original price of $50. Guess Wizards didn't have a lot of faith in that. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. So figure about $10 when they first came out, and currently by Amazon price. But considered Wizards' current philosophy of compensating for the branding, $20. And the crochet book is going to be $40 or $50, and that's not counting the materials you're going to need. So yeah, does that just build up your excitement for what we can expect? Well, as we get prepared for our next epic adventure, we can sit there crocheting a beholder as we embark on our next crusade of making sure the bakery gets the flour in time so it can make the cupcakes for the princess's party, because we want to make sure that the cupcakes get there on time so the princess can have her party, so Mackenzie Deoms can claim that she created another aspect of Dungeons and Dragons. Oh yeah, I created the Burkham, yeah, and I created Ravenloft, and oh yeah, the Forgotten Realms, that was me, I created that, I'm Mackenzie, Now, none of these were predicted. I could not have predicted any of these, especially when I've been saying that, oh yeah, these are the books, and then they're done. We've got the Forgotten Realms, we've got Eberron, we've got the new starter set, that's it, 2025 is over. But Wizards apparently heard me and went, no, we need 5 more books. Yeah, so I know you're saying week 5. I only see 1, 2, 3, 4, but you're forgetting the coloring book. The coloring book counts as a Dungeons and Dragons book. And how much are they going to charge for an adult coloring book? $20, $30. Yeah, this is just genius. The branding of D&D. Now, these not predicted, but not surprised. This one seems utterly pointless since they've already done it, but okay. I mean, they gave us a cookbook. Why not? This is the two that really just, bug my britches. Angry as a polecat in winter, or whatever other colloquial saying we can think of. To charge somebody that much money for basically, 50 pages of blank paper with maybe some notes in it and a table or two. And what the does a roper have to do with player characters? Why not put a picture of something heroic? Why not put a picture of Minx? Or if you've got the, Avenger on the DM's one, why not put the kids on the campaign one? Or the fallbacks, or any of the dozens of iconic D&D characters. Nothing that I think player character, I think hero, I think D&D character book, the first image that comes to my mind is not Tentacle Beast. Also, is that roper upside down? Because shouldn't he be hanging from the ceiling? Unless it's supposed to be an Autug and not a roper. I don't know. Yeah, but, Tentacle Beast. Yeah, here you go, 8-year-old who's just starting to play D&D. Here's a book with a picture of a tentacle beast. There's some nightmare fuel for you. Good luck. A happy birthday. Get out of my house. Why? What is the creative decision that made them go, player character journal, tentacles? Nothing says hero fighting the forces of darkness like Tentacle Beast. Throw in some schoolgirls and we know what you're thinking of. So again, nothing about this. It surprises me that they announced more for this year after saying they were done, but not really. What they're making, kind of a surprise. I never would have predicted any of these, especially the crochet book. But I mean, in the wider theme of silliness that comes to us from Wizards of the Coast and the brilliant mind of Macanzi and whoever else is still working there. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. It's not like, I'm not like going to yell and scream how stupid this is because I'm just so done with that. It's just pointless to be angry at them. I'm not going to defend their choices, but, they've made it very clear what their choices are. So it's not like in the great scheme of thinking, you should be like, oh, wow, this is really, I'm so angry that they chose to do this. Now, at this point, you should just be like, I don't fucking care anymore, Wizards. You've ruined the franchise. You've ruined the hobby. You've ruined your brand. But you've also made it clear what you want to do with the brand, and the numbers don't lie. So in a way, you're successful because despite having a dismal Q2 with a $1.6 billion loss, Dungeons and Dragons, the brand, showed a 20% raise, despite the fact that sales of Dungeons and Dragons physical books were down 28%, but D&D, the brand, was up 20%, and Magic the Gathering was up 40%. So obviously the branding is working, because you can justify the $1 billion loss because of tariffs and everything else, at least that they're trying to do. And you can justify the success of the branding. You can justify the need for a Dungeons and Dragons crochet book because the numbers don't lie. The Dungeons and Dragons crochet mentality is selling, while the actually making books for the actual campaign world isn't. So if I'm going to have a book that's going to go directly marked down to the shelves of Ollie's, why not have it be the Wizards and Warriors Companion and, 2 basically books of blank paper that I'm going to charge you an outrageous amount of money for, because apparently we collectively forget that I can get the exact same thing at any 99-cent store. I need a campaign book for my next character. I could spend $20, or I could go get one for $1.50. What can I say? It should not come as a surprise to anyone. It's just at the point where it's just like, yeah, I'm just like, this is me. I'm just going to look at the books and go, oh, I don't know what to say other than...
Mischief in the classroom, potions gone astray, flying through the quad, now brighter every day. Laugh till we cry hard, sneaking out at night, cloaks in the moonlight, everything feels right.